Alright, so this video is going to be on my thoughts on Republican and Democrats. For starters, I choose to be an independent one, so like in the middle of everything, because of the fact that I don't really know much definitions or information on both Democrats and Republicans. So I just choose to be independent because I am a person that sways between thoughts and choices, which I like. I feel like that's a normal thing, but you know, others outside looking in would think otherwise. But anyways, with Republicans it says higher increase in military pay, and then for Democrats it says lower. And I agree with that for Democrats because I feel like people in the military seem like they get paid for not really doing much of anything but working a normal job. And the only thing is that they sell themselves to the government voice more now. But when you're in your day-to-day life and when you get your Social Security card, it's like you selling yourself to the government anyway, because you chose to, well, something chose to bring you here for your destiny to exist here. Then you get a Social Security card, and that's kind of like you're controlled and part of the government. But I guess when you do go into the military force, you're kind of choosing now at this point. But either way, you're not able to choose anyway. But anyways, they get double the pay for choosing to be a military person, also working a 9 to 5 like a normal person does. That's the only difference. But yeah, I feel like lower pay for them makes sense. So I agree with the Democrats with that. For Republicans, it says oppose gun control law. And then for Democrats, it says more control. And I disagree with the Democrats with more control due to the fact because when you shouldn't have to be overly thinking, am I going to get in trouble for this, because you have more law control over what you're doing. So going back to your history, Second Amendment, and then the anti-abortion for the Republicans, and then for the Democrats is pro-choice. I agree with the Democrats again. I feel like women definitely should choose, have a child come into fruition for them in their destiny in their life. So just taking that away solely, I don't agree with that. Like, somebody can't choose at all. Like, imagine if the person get like brutally raped for years on years on years, and they want to abandon this child that they've been being raped to have. It's just gonna grow this like dislike for the child, and who wants to live a life like that? So I agree with the Democrats. It should be pro-choice. And then they oppose gay marriage. So and that's for Republicans, and then Democrats is support gay marriage. I agree with the mainly oppose gay marriage. It means you just have a mainly dislike for gay marriage, but it's not that you're automatically like anti like abortion. I guess the laws are not set, they're changeable with the way of their wording. So okay, we stopped at less taxes for wealthy, and then that's Republicans, and then for Democrats it's higher taxes for higher income. So I chose to support the higher taxes for higher income. The reason why I agree with that with the Democrats is because I feel like it makes sense. You got more funds, so you should be able to pay more taxes. I just feel like this makes more sense to me. Why, if you're wealthier, it kind of beats the odds of people that are losing a sense of climbing in life. I guess I can see where, like, if you're wealthy, why should you have to owe anybody when you made that wealth yourself? I'll get the ignorance in that thought process. But with the Democrats, I understand more in depth when it comes to a society importance taken from your funds. So yeah. And then for less support for immigrations, and then it said greater support for immigrations for Democrats. I chose to agree with both because I feel like already with the Democrats, it seems more like they're more needy and they're getting more help from their government, which is good. But also with the less support with the Republicans, I understand that because it gives the immigrants a chance to just feel accepted in the new climate that they're going to, instead of being overly like showcased like this person is not meant to be here. I'm helping them in great deals while people that are already here are being treated less than. They're not bringing no significance to these people because they already were born here and raised here. So I could understand from both points. So I chose to check both of those as important points in the description and definitions of the words. And then disagree with climate change. I put a check for that because for Democrats it says believes in climate change, and I don't believe in, from my thought process, I don't really believe in, like, I feel like Mother Nature and the universe should determine that. So that's choosing things higher than yourself instead of something or someone controlling what weather's coming today. And just like, it's like it showcases this sense of perfection or being above. I don't agree with that. I feel like the naturalness of the climax is a thing that should be taken into consideration. And yeah, but I can understand you want to know the weather before the weather comes so you can put it on your phones and everyone knows, so that's understandable. But I could differ from both, I guess, but I chose to disagree with it. I think the optimistic thought of climate change is a good thing. So yeah. But when I totaled them both up for Republicans and Democrats, I got 4 checks on both sides and lesser support for immigrants. I checked, I think, both of them. Because that's when you get into, like, why a Republican and Democrat is made anyway. You're choosing to bring value to the people that are coming here to be follower of the laws that you have enforced mostly. So that's when you get into the grains of why we have Republicans and Democrats in this leading board of laws. When these immigrants are coming into these new positions in their life, like new locations in their life, I feel like that's why they have these laws enforced. And we have to go by them first, and then people come and they have to go by them too.